Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Osil, and today I'm gonna do an attempt to give you an update on my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan because yeah, it's time, but I'm freezing, so I'm trying to stay warm here, so bear with me. It is very cold in Norway today. But yeah, I have 5 eyeshadows in my project, and I feel like I've been working hard on them. This is going to be my last update before my finale, and I'm going to make some changes today. I have decided I'm going to give you an update on all of these eyeshadows that I've worked on, but I have decided to change them out, all of them, because the whole point of doing this pan those eyeshadows with my single eyeshadows was because they were all neglected in my makeup collection, and I really wanted to work on all of them, or as many as possible this year. And even though I wanted to hit pan and just do my best on each and every one of these eyeshadows that has been in my project, I also wanted to make sure to give myself an idea of what I felt about every single eyeshadow I had as a single. And so far I went through my collection again today, and I chose 5 eyeshadows that I haven't either barely used at all or haven't touched at all this year. And even though I haven't reached my goal on any of the eyeshadows I currently have in this project, I have decided to still roll them out and roll in these 5 final new shades into this project and make sure to give them a go and figure out how I feel about them, if they deserve a place in my collection still. And I think that's a good decision, even though I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for the fact that I haven't reached my goal on the 5 eyeshadows that are currently in my project pan, or in those Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. But I feel like I have done a good job getting to know them, and I have gotten some use out of them. I know how I feel about them now. I know which ones are most likely going to stay and which ones are most likely going to go. And that was the whole point of this project, at least for me. And I know there are certain rules that you kind of should follow within these project pans that are on YouTube, but at the same time, the project pans I'm doing are for myself. They are for me trying to figure out which products I like, what I want to work on, and why I want to work on them, and therefore I can change my own rules, I think. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to start with the eyeshadows that I have been working on. Hold on. Starting with the gold shade that has been in my project pan this entire time since the beginning. So I have 84 uses on this now, and that's where I'm going to end. I feel like that is a lot of use of this eyeshadow throughout this year. I haven't hit pan on this, but I'm still very happy with my progress and with my work. Well, my progress, I'm surprised that I haven't hit pan after 84 uses, but at the same time, that tells me that it's a good eyeshadow. There's like literally no kick up or anything like that. I only need a little bit. It's very pigmented, has great quality, looks really nice on the eye. These Inglot metallic eyeshadows are really, really good. And this is number 155. So this is, yeah, definitely one of my favorite gold eyeshadows that I have. Probably the favorite gold eyeshadow, because it's just like the perfect tone. Anyways, really happy about that. Now I think I told you last time that I have two cream shadows in my collection that are singles. One of them being the one that I had in my project pan this time, and it is also from Inglot number 353. My initial goal was to hit pan on the gold, by the way. I didn't do that, but my initial goal on this one was to use this for 30 times. I used this exactly 20 times, so really I have 10 more uses to go, but this is what that one looks like now. Definitely a dent made in this one. But the thing is, now I kind of want to roll in my other cream shadow to kind of compare and to figure out which ones I like best. If I'm gonna let any of these go, do I really need two cream eyeshadows in within my single collection? Do I have enough? I need to discuss this with myself, and for that reason I feel like it's a good idea to roll this out. I know how this performs now. I know how I feel about it, and then roll in my Wet n Wild creme brulee eyeshadow. I think this is very familiar to a lot of people, a very popular shade. I can tell you right off the bat that this is more creamier and just more smooth than this one. This is a lot drier. So I'm not sure, like, without really using this a whole lot lately, I would say that at this point I prefer the creme brulee from Wet n Wild over the Inglot shade, but I'm gonna give this a go and get a better feel of what I feel about this one. And this is what it looks like now. I mean, this is also drier. It used to be a lot more creamy when it was brand new, but on the lid, I don't know if you can see this, but they're identical. On the lid, on the skin, they're just exactly the same, I feel like. But I do believe that I would have to build this up a little bit more than the Wet n Wild one, but we'll see. I'm gonna experiment a little bit with this. I'm not even gonna set a usage goal on these ones. I'm just gonna include them and try to get as much usage as possible on these to really get to know them. That's really my only goal this time around. I know this is weird for you guys. You're probably not agreeing with my decisions here. I don't know. But because I'm definitely not following the rules, but I think this is best for me. So next, I almost don't want to roll this out because this has become like my favorite eyeshadow of the year, and I really love using it. But in order for me to try out some of the other shades that I have been neglecting so far this year and so far these past few years, I need to roll out this Luna shade from MakeupGeek as well. This is what that one looks like now. I think I'm so close to hitting pan on this. So my usage is 47 uses on this one, which is pretty good, I think, but obviously not good enough for me to hit pan. I think I'm very, very close though. But yeah, I'm gonna roll this out. This is such an amazing, beautiful, beautiful shade. So I'm very likely to roll this in as either like in a project pan or just to make sure it is in my everyday makeup for next year. Next up is my little metallic silver shade from Inglot. I've used this 17 times. Last time I think I was up in like 3 usages, but I really made an effort to figure out how I felt about this, why I didn't feel like this was an easy color to go for and to include into my makeup looks. And I can tell you I have figured out why it is a little bit difficult for me to grab for. This is what it looks like, by the way. You can see a better usage. I mean, you can tell that I've used it now compared to last time. But yeah, the reason why I don't typically grab for this is because it is so pigmented, and that's why. It doesn't really, it just takes over the whole look. You can't really just dab this on the middle, for example, on like top of another shade to use as a topper. No way. It just completely, I mean, I can touch this and then touch my lid and it's just very overpowering in a way. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult because of that. I have it in my inner corners today, and I just did like the smallest amount. I feel like you can definitely tell that this is on my eyes. Even though this is the eyeshadow I have used the smallest amount of, you can still definitely see it, I feel like. And so, and it's difficult to kind of blend because when I blend it, let's say I do like a halo eye and I do a shade on the outer and inner part of my lid and then I do this in the middle, you can't really tell that there's several shades on the lid because this has just taken over the whole eye. It's very difficult in that way, but at the same time, you can't really, I mean, that's not a bad thing really that it's pigmented, so I don't know, but I want to keep this because it is beautiful and it does have its place in my collection. So, but I'm rolling it out for now. I'm happy that I finally managed to get some good use out of it and get a good idea as to why I wasn't over the moon about this eyeshadow, but it's like my only silver eyeshadow that I have in my collection, so I want to keep it. And lastly, we have Blowfish from Colourpop. So I have experimented a little bit with this eyeshadow. I find that I really like it a lot, but I do prefer to use it in my inner corners as a highlight. I think it's beautiful for that. It works on my eyelids as well, but really where it has its place is in my inner corners. So I have 18 uses on this one now, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And that's that. Now I'm going to show you the eyeshadow looks that I did this time around. Really, to be honest with you, I have done this eyeshadow look so many times. This has been my go-to look because this is the look where I managed to incorporate all of my Pando's eyeshadows and also a few other ones actually. I have a green cream shadow as a liner here today as well. I have made some like cooler looks today, cooler looks this time around. So this first one, I used the Colourpop Blowfish in the like on my lid, and then I did Inglot Metallic Taupe. That is actually such a beautiful shade. It is this one right here. I used that on the outer part of my lid, and on my lower lash line you can't really see that. I did use my cream eyeshadow from Beauty Act in the color Gopher Green. Then with this next one, I did Inglot Matte Taupe in my crease, and I did the H&M Award Season, which is like a metallic lavender, very cool purple shade on the outer part of my lid, and then on my inner part I did the Colourpop Blowfish. It actually looks like I used the silver. Maybe I did without writing it down, because it really does look like I've used the silver shade. And then this next one, I compared my Colourpop The Child palette with my Inglot Silver, and I really like that green silver look. That's just very beautiful to me, I feel like. And then, yes, this is just basically the same eyeshadow look as that I have today. Pretty much the same. Yeah, just in a different lighting. And then lastly, I did 2 eyeshadow looks with, I've just been inspired to use the Norvina palette from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. And so I did this look first with the cream eyeshadow from Beauty Act in Gopher Green as an eyeshadow base. And then on top of that, you can't really see that there's green there, but I did use that one. And on top of that, I did use Luna on the outer part of my eye, and then I did my the lightest shade that's in the Norvina palette, and also I think it's called Rose Gold, a little bit to deepen it out in the outer part of my eye. And then lastly, I was just very inspired to do like a cool purple eyeshadow look, and I just used that matte cool purple or lavender color from Norvina all over the lid. I did a little bit of that matte pink that's also in the Norvina palette in the crease, and then I just topped the whole thing with the Inglot Silver shade because it turned out way too dark for me, but then patting that silver shade on top just lightened up the whole entire look, and I really like the finished result of this one. And yeah, so that's it. Let's look at the shades that I want to include in the project this time and that I want to work on up until the finale. Okay, so first off, I've already talked about the Wet n Wild Creme Brulee, so that's one of them. And then there's 2 that are very similar, so I kind of want to compare them and see if there's any like huge differences, because I don't know if it's not, maybe I don't need both of these. So there's one from Inglot, number 357, matte cooler brown, almost like a taupe. Same with this. This is the MakeupGeek Faux Fur. So they're both kind of similar. This is a little bit cooler than this one. That's what they look like. Let me just go ahead and swatch the MakeupGeek on top. Okay, and then Inglot on the bottom. Okay, so I can tell you, I probably should have swatched these before I started comparing them, because they're very different once I swatch them. So on top there's the MakeupGeek Faux Fur, and on the bottom is the Inglot one. I think you can probably tell that the top one is cooler, more taupey, and the bottom one is definitely more of a brown, warmer shade. Still on the cooler side, but definitely warmer. Okay, so that's interesting. Now I'm kind of curious to compare this little trio from Inglot with these shades as well. Let me just let's see if I take the darkest tone. Okay, that's very dark, but still that's very similar to Faux Fur. And then let's do the other ones as well. All right, so there you have that trio, also from Inglot. I feel like the darkest one from that trio is very similar to Faux Fur. I think I'm not gonna officially include that trio into the project, but I'm definitely gonna play around a little bit and experiment and see how similar they are and which ones I prefer. Because I also have this very dark, I'm getting all messy, dark brown from Inglot in 329. This is what that one looks like, and that's very, very dark. And also, again, very similar to Faux Fur, just a bit darker. So these are all like matte brown taupey tones that I really like, and these are the kinds I prefer. But do I need all of them? That's the question. So we'll see. And lastly, this is unofficially like my favorite single eyeshadow, or at least one of my, like my top 3 probably single eyeshadows, at least before I got to know the Luna even better, the Luna eyeshadow that I've been working on. This is from a brand called Hot Makeup. The writing has come off, but I believe it's called Hot Makeup. And it just says marble eyeshadow. It doesn't really have a name or anything, but this is gorgeous. Hopefully you can see that. It is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it's like a pink champagne, I would say. Yeah, that's the best description of this. So pretty. And I think I'm just gonna play around with these mattes and then put this on the lid. That's probably what I'm gonna do moving forward. And I'm also gonna make sure this time around to just play around with my other eyeshadow palettes. Now that my project pans are coming to an end, I just want to make sure that I enjoy the rest of my collection and play around a little bit with it these last few weeks before the year is coming to an end, and I'm gonna start a whole new project pan, or several project pans maybe. So yeah, I just want to make sure to enjoy my entire collection. And yeah, that's a little bit, I will admit that this was a little bit more chaotic, but I believe that it was a good idea to just start fresh again and make sure that rather than trying to reach my goal on these 5 eyeshadows, I would just roll in 5 new that I haven't really been able to work on this year, and just make sure to figure out what I feel about them. That's it for this update. I hope you will stay tuned for my finale. I'm really excited about that, and I know it's going to be a different kind of finale, but I hope you enjoyed this update, and I hope you will enjoy my finale as well, even though it's not a typical one. And so yeah, I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!